Hi, I'm Marilyn, the two-tip lady, and I love to help make life more simple. Do you ever feel scared about an appointment that's looming closer and closer? Well, I did the other day. But I had an idea and I asked myself 2 questions, and those questions and my answers helped me such a lot because I really was scared. They might help you too. Do you detest going to the dentist? Do you ever feel sorry for dentists? I do. Nobody I know loves to go to dental appointments, especially when you know ahead of time it's going to be a long, uncomfortable ordeal and probably painful. Well, I had to go. I had to endure, so I had a choice. I could clench my teeth. That's a bit hard with my mouth jammed wide open. Or I could clench my fists and fingers and toes and suffer through it. But I asked myself a question instead. Here it is. What would a calm person do? So I thought, okay. I guess I'd stop tensing up my fingers, clenching both my hands together, and I'll deliberately let them feel loose. What else would a calm person do? Well, a calm person would probably just allow their body to sink into the chair. They wouldn't sit there like a hardboard, tense and ready to spring out and snap. And then I thought, since they make me wear those sunglasses, I'm just going to shut my eyes. I won't see those scary, nasty, sharp things that are diving towards my mouth. And as I shut my eyes, maybe a feeling of calm will come. Now, since my eyes were shut, I had to think about something. And I remembered from years ago when we lived in Polynesia that when I was feeling particularly ruffled about things, I'd put my snorkel on and put my goggles on, and I'd hike over the road to the ocean, wriggle into my flippers and dive in. I'd snorkel and goggle my troubles away. I'd sail over the top of brightly coloured fish as I floated absolutely effortlessly while admiring the sea anemones, the swaying seaweed and the gorgeous coloured coral. I remembered this all so vividly that it actually gave me a feeling of calm as I lay in the chair with those silly sunglasses on. And that hour passed with happy memories floating in and out while my mouth was suffering great indignities. But I didn't care so much because I had asked myself, what would a calm person do? So there's tip number 1. Ask yourself, what would a calm person do? Then I think you'd agree with me that there are a lot of things going on in the world these days that look pretty scary. And if you're a news watcher, you can feel real anxiety and fear. So when that fear comes banging on my door, I have another question I ask myself. Here comes tip number 2. What would a hopeful person do? I ask myself, what would a hopeful person do? Hopeful? That's someone who expects things to get better, someone who thinks things are going to improve, someone who won't give in to the gloom and doom. Do you know what they would do? Even though the big picture of everything and how everything is going to pan out isn't clear, you know what they'd do? They'd simply take the next step. Now, what's the next step? Something earth-shaking, mind-blowing, huge, enormous? What's the next step? Just ask yourself. Well, you might be needing to hang out the clothes. It might be running out to the garden and poking in some new little plants. It might be just something really, really simple like getting the next meal ready. But it's the next step that you need to take, because I can guarantee that if you actually take the next step, when you're feeling hopeless, that feeling of hopelessness is going to vanish because your thinking will change. And changing that fear thinking to hopeful thinking and acting is so life-giving and important. So here's my 2 tips today. Ask yourself 2 questions when you're scared. Tip number 1. What would a calm person do? Tip number 2, what would a hopeful person do? And then go and do those things, because your ruffled feathers will settle and the pit of fear in your stomach will go away. I know. That's what I do, and you can too. That's it from the two-tip lady who loves to help make your life less complicated and more simple.